Welcome to the WalterFootball.com podcast. This is episode 294. We're doing our week 2 NFL picks against the spread. Joined once again by Jacob Kamiker from the Sporting News. Jacob, how are you and how's your week 1?
I'm doing great. My week 1 was pretty good. Last year, week 1, I went a cool 5-10-1. This time around, much better. I actually flipped that, went 10-5-1. I had liked the game, the week 1 list of games pretty much, and it was I don't want to say it was easy to handicap all of them, but I feel like we were on the right side in almost every game that we picked together. And the only mistake I made was, I still don't know why I did this, but I picked the Jets plus 6.5, said I wouldn't bet the game. I didn't bet the game, but on Sunday morning at like 11:30, like 90 minutes before the game, I'm like, why did I do that? And I was like, I should tweet that I'm changing my pick. And I was like, I'm not going to do that, because what if they win, they cover, and then I feel bad. And then, of course, they were garbage. So, I've learned my lesson. Don't bet on bad coaches. So, yeah, anyway, that's how I feel about week 1. It was pretty good. Had a couple mistakes. And, Andrew here called the Jags money line. I believe I said that would be like setting money on fire. So I apologize for being wrong on that, Andrew. Good call. I am still in shock about that game, but credit where credit's due. You got that one right for sure, man.
Well, I literally did set my money on fire with that one because I had the Colts in all my survivor pools. So I'm all done there. Although on BetUS, you can rebuy once. So I think I'm going to do that. So hopefully I don't lose right away in week 2 again. I went 9-6-1 against the spread. So slightly worse, but plus 1090. So I'll take it. Two big picks that were lost, and I covered this on the website, but I don't like. I want to run this by you and see what you think. The two major picks that I lost, you were on them as well. The Colts -8 and the Buccaneers plus 3.5. So I was reviewing what we did in week 1, and I noticed that teams that had new coaches or first-time coaches and new quarterbacks that went 5-1 against the spread, and that applies to the Colts and the Buccaneers, who had Phillip Rivers and Tom Brady. So, obviously a small sample size, 7 games. So, like, what do you think about this dynamic? Like, is this something we should avoid or be cautious about, or just ignore going forward?
I think it's hard to say whether or not we should completely ignore it. Like, I would tend to lean on ignore it, but I think we have to be at least a little bit cautious, just because of the nature of this offseason. I think where those guys, especially the veteran new quarterbacks, haven't had as many live reps in game situations with their guys, that has impacted their ability to get them the ball. I mean, you saw it against the Saints with the Buccaneers specifically. Tom Brady at one point pointed at one of his receivers while kind of moving in the pocket, which Brady doesn't like to do anyway, and was kind of like, go here, you need to be there. And he threw the ball and the receiver didn't break back for it. And it didn't end up being anything, but that was the moment I kind of realized, like, yeah, it's going to take them more time than we anticipated to build chemistry. I think we assumed that the receivers were going to be, able to adjust to them quickly, but it may take a couple games. So I think it's something we need to be a little cautious of, but it's not something that I'm going to say like, oh, we can't bet these guys, because depending on the matchup, like, and at any point they could break through, like, I'm comfortable betting them in certain situations.
Yeah, I think it's something that's going to correct itself eventually, but I, as of right now, I think you should be cautious about it. So I'm not going to bet heavily on these situations. And as the Big Get Even just pointed out, Bill Belichick was the one coach who prevailed in this with the new quarterback Cam Newton. Not just Belichick, but Belichick with extra time to prepare. So it's definitely good to have Belichick on your side if you're in this sort of situation. So yeah, I think it's something that Bruce Arians pointed out too, where he said the interception, one of Brady's interceptions, was a miscommunication with Mike Evans. So, I think the first few weeks of the season, I'll be cautious on this. I just want to see how it progresses. So,